Hello, hello. Welcome to another episode of the cast. Today is a very interesting episode, very interesting conversation to be had. It's been a very wonderful year. It's been a great run, and everybody here can testify that it's really been like a solid year generally for crypto Web3 in Africa, around the world, and here for us at the frontier. We started this journey this year to spread the good news of the gospel, which is Web3, talk about what is happening and the way it needs to be talked about. I really want to take Jeffrey Isaac. Can you guys unmute yourself, please? I really
Yeah,
want to take this time to say thank you to my co-host and maybe leave the floor for them to kind of a little bit of a rapper. Just what do you have to say? This is our last episode of the year. Like, how has the journey been generally for you, Jeffrey?
I feel like 2023 was definitely a very long year and like a lot of ups and downs, but I feel like I definitely learned a lot of lessons this year. So much personal growth and so much company growth, and at the end of the day, we just have to be grateful, sure, just gratitude. And I'm really happy for the podcast and what we have created through the podcast, and really happy to all of our listeners. And yeah, Merry Christmas to everybody.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
indeed. Merry Christmas,
yeah,
Isaac.
I like it's been
It's been like this thing actually was like a conversation that okay, you know what, fuck it. Let's bring this conversation over to
so
podcast and then
many
here we are,
conversations
right?
we never recorded. I regret this. I regret those times.
I
I regret,
swear, because like when on all those WhatsApp calls, they're always hot.
but
Yeah,
most of us said most of our
Yeah,
internally talk so much. We talk about so much. We talk about
yeah,
so much in the
definitely,
company
definitely.
and we don't put this in a recording. Like I just believe it's been a very interesting conversation. And obviously it's been a very great opportunity working with Yahoo, right? So it's just been really what it
Appreciate
is.
you.
Uh, I can't say thank you enough to the listeners. And then every other person, Isaac, Jeffrey, guys have been wonderful, right? So I don't know, man, but let us get. I don't even know as in this whole episode conversation. I think we're gonna get a little better next year. We're gonna really get a little better on production. So many things are gonna get better next year. Isaac, you're saying something.
they would all notice. They would all notice when it all changes. They would notice that come these guys are sounding.
Definitely no, definitely.
There's always there's always a different vibe or feel to it when it's been we've had a very good starting. We've had a very good start, honestly. We've had a very good start. It's performed better than we even expected. We've performed better than we even expected.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. So I think what we're gonna do today is kind of a breather. Talk about what happened in 2023 when it comes to crypto space in Nigeria, and then starting with the recent news that happened recently, Nigerian central bank came out and talked about what's it called, um, the crypto ban that they placed on what's it called that they placed on banks in Nigeria,
Yeah.
right? So because one of the things we've seen is that people are really like I don't know how to say it, like the last few years has been very interesting because people will come out and say, crypto is back. Bro, we never went anywhere.
So
We've been
especially,
here.
especially for us, especially for those of us in Africa, we never went anywhere.
Yeah.
The builders,
In
especially.
Nigeria specifically, crypto never went anywhere. The adoption was growing despite everything that was happening. And with what happened, everybody has comments, right? Okay, the government has said this. And somebody was complaining to me, oh, the government doesn't allow, how can you regulate something that the financial institution cannot custody? And then, like, I don't know how people understand this, but the news is that Nigerian authorizes Nigerian banks to open accounts for crypto companies. So the central bank issues a circular. I'm reading this in from Mariblock. It said, Sheil, Oluwaseun wrote this, a friend of mine, said, issued a permitting circular, permitting financial institution in West Africa, in Nigeria to offer services to digital asset entity. This comes 3 years after central bank banned financial institutions from dealing with crypto. This circular was released in December of 2022, and the central bank is talking about, okay, they have looked at what is happening globally, and they believe that, okay, this is actually the right thing to do, right? And based on global trends and issues that they are looking at, they are issuing a guideline to provide financial institutions, bring it under their regulatory purview. Things like they are designating crypto companies as VATs, virtual asset service providers, and all the rest of that. So we should all know that CBN offered 2 different circulars, right, in 2020, in 2017 and 2021, right? But the catch here is the circular that was released was not interpreted properly, right? So we now depend on analysis. The CBN is saying, however, banks and other financial institutions are still prohibited from holding, trading, or transacting virtual currencies on their own accounts, meaning that banks,
Yeah.
Nigerian banks, can't. Not people think they're talking about Nigerian banks still ban banks from dealing with crypto. No, it means
No.
that banks
Yeah.
themselves can't get involved in crypto,
Yeah, like
right?
transactions.
Yes. Yeah.
Financial, yeah, not transactions. They can't hold crypto on
Yeah.
their own balance sheet.
Mhm.
Okay, yeah, like they
Do you
can't put it
understand it
as
right
part of
now?
the assets that they account for.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
of course. So it's probably like, okay, you can provide this service. You can sell me this yogurt, but you can't drink this yogurt,
Yes.
kind of something.
One example is just like when Binance had multiple accounts in Nigeria, and then at the time when CBN came out with their circular at the time, Binance had to close down those accounts that they had in Nigeria, where that people used to on and off ramp crypto on their platform, and then it's what now cost it's what also cost a very big growth for peer-to-peer platforms in Nigeria and Africa as well.
Yeah, of course. Like Jeffrey, I don't know. What do you think about this move by there are key things, right? Number one is
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
CBN guideline introduced some level of regulatory oversight to the activity of digital asset companies in Nigeria.
Yeah.
However, now,
Tech.
if you're a crypto company, Security
Okay,
Exchange
sec.
Commission of
Okay.
Nigeria.
Okay.
If you're a crypto company and you want to open an account, you have to have a license. Even then, financial institution senior managers must first approve the account. The CBN also requires financial institutions to submit monthly reports relating to the activities of accounts of crypto companies. So the central bank is interested in learning about accounts open for crypto entities, the value, transaction, blah, 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 blah,
Yeah.
all those stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, this whole conversation,
Mm-hmm.
for me, before I hand over to you, it's good. For me, is not a lot is going to change. Why I say not a lot is going to change? Because the reality of the operating infrastructure, of the operating structure of crypto in Nigeria is, I used to say crypto operates in a natural habitat, like P2P kind of something. But with the structure we have with so many companies and the way they operate, there's still so much push. Like there is no genuine guideline. Like there's so much lobbying involved to just get an account open as a crypto company. You still have to. It's not supposed to be that way. As you're a crypto company, you're licensed by SEC, and then the bank senior management have to approve before you even open a company or an account with the bank. It kind of, okay, why the CBN wants to get to know what is happening in crypto, but they should be able to kind of like have like probably risk requirements.
Yeah.
This whole uh monthly reports, does the CBN take monthly reports of paystack transactions and stuff like that? Is that not what tech? Like I want to like, because the regulatory conversation is good, but to some extent it sounds crappy to me. The learning the transaction volume and blah 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 blah. Because I don't know what they want to do with the transaction volume. They should be interested in engaging so that nobody is using the platform to move fraud money. So I bring it to you, like, what's your mindset about this whole conversation that is happening right now? From there, we talk about adoption stuff that happened this year. Jeffrey, over to you, please.
Yeah, thank you very much, Lens. So I found out about the news yesterday, I think on LinkedIn. I saw your post on LinkedIn about it, then I read a little bit of article about it. Then I realized that the first ban that the Central Bank of Nigeria made on crypto was in February 2021. And like they made
Mm-hmm.
that ban of claims of money laundering and terrorist financial risk, that sort of thing. So alongside with that ban, and alongside like when there's a new regulatory or like there's a new ban on a certain commodity or assets, there was a lot of misinformation about it. And part of that misinformation um is what a lot of people see cryptocurrencies as just used for fraud in Nigeria, which isn't true. A lot of people just use it in Nigeria, in Africa, and that's not true because a lot of people use it for real world needs. Like they need to pay for this and they don't have any other method. So I think I like the fact that the government is in a way bringing back and removing some of those misconceptions. I like the fact that the government is enabling the adoption of cryptocurrencies, even though I didn't really go too deep to check the total package and like how do they planning to curb and manage their regulation. But I feel like it's a little win, so like we just have to celebrate a little win for the community. And I have zero doubt that when Africa, like sorry, when Nigeria takes it on a massive scale, when adoption starts on a massive scale in Nigeria, I have zero doubt that it's going to it's going to also spread to the other parts of Africa. So I feel like for the African ecosystem, I feel like it's definitely a very good news. And 2024, 2025, 2026 are definitely going to be very exciting years.
Yeah, I think it's going to be. Um, it remains to be seen, though. Isaac, what's your
Okay, so
input to this?
it's actually very interesting. If you look at Nigeria's Minister of Technology, we all know that this guy Boshu is quite very energetic and is a young person. So and it's very interesting to see that they are providing a sandbox where they are putting, okay, yeah, of course, we still have to talk about the case of the certain amount of money that they're talking about for before the crypto companies can come and open their account. But if we Jeffrey mentioned, we celebrate the little win. And when there's a sandbox, there's a sandbox now, and then where we will be able to bring together a certain of these of crypto companies that will come together and they would show, okay, this way the government is able to learn more about what needs to be done, put heads together, come up with a much better plan along the year that would benefit everybody and make sure that everybody is building in a safe and secure environment for the users of the country in the country, for instance. So cases of it's going to help reduce cases of probably bad actors in a way. We should see reduce bad actors in a way where companies now there's a set guideline. I was looking at it how there are so many we know so many companies that probably want to implement anything regarding crypto and we've looked at it it doesn't look like the government will accept this or government we don't want a place where we begin to put this in place and the government comes and tells us that no, we should not do that or the government comes and flags their account because they are trading certain cryptocurrencies or because they are holding certain cryptocurrencies and stuff like that. But those misinformation now with their latest announcement will begin to go out of the way, and these people will begin to explore cryptocurrencies. This way now we start seeing other Web2 companies looking for a way to integrate crypto into their product
Sure.
in many different ways, probably because of maybe for them to store or even if it is store, whether it is trade or it is to move money across border. It's it opens a very different conversation. Honestly, we'll see.
Mm.
The another thing is that we'll begin to see more persons. I wouldn't be surprised if we start seeing even students come up with certain projects in their schools for
100%.
regarding crypto. You get so there are so
Bro,
many.
my final year project was actually even like a blockchain project, guys. It was
Look at
crazy.
that. Look at that. So it's very
Bro.
interesting. It's a very interesting conversation. It opens a lot of avenue for so many things. And with time,
Mm-hmm.
just like the way we are seeing for large corporations, we start very after a while we start to see for smaller sets of people, probably for students and the like that would like to that cannot pay this certain amount of money before they can open a bank account because they want to create a crypto company.
Well, listen. Look at what I think.
Yes.
Like you have to be. It's not about individuals, right? It's
Mm-hmm.
on a company level. If you're a crypto company, you have to have like minimum threshold of.
Yes.
I think SEC already has those things set it out, right? So you have to have like 500 million
Mm-hmm.
in paid up capital. So it has to be paid up in fixed asset, bank balance, investment in quoted security, and stuff like that. So SEC already has like a possibility around all these things, right? But the problem is, like you can't tell somebody a baby that was born today and say, "Oh, baby, before you eat, you have to lift block." Crypto is still a growing space. It's not
Yeah,
possible. All these things they're saying is really not kind of like while
exactly.
it's good. The win for me is around the consumer sentiment part of the conversation. Like if shift is shifted, right? So people are not seeing this for what it is. This is innovation, full front, and for then I want to really get into the CNGN conversation first because alongside this conversation, the Nigerian central bank was like, okay, banks cannot issue stable coins
Mm-hmm.
for CNGN. I've been anti CCBDC because the why I'm anti CBDC is if they do it the way they wanted to do it initially, central bank digital currency, it doesn't make any sense. But now this this is really not a CBDC, it's a stable coin
Yes.
issued by banks. It's a different conversation entirely. And it's a very good way to kind of like trap AML and solve compliance.
Mm-hmm.
Because what is the point of giving somebody license when you can't regulate a bad money that is going on the platform, right? So I think the story is still developing, right? It's something that is done by Conversity, a blockchain studio in Nigeria. So they are working with banks and so many companies, so many financial institutions in Nigeria to launch CNGN token. So there are key things that happened over these last few weeks that actually marks the bullish year for crypto in Nigeria. This ban lifting, this stable coin is going to really open up ramps on a very massive level.
Honestly.
And from all indications, yeah, from all indications for me, I just believe we still have a long way to go on an infra level.
Yeah,
We still have things
for
to
me,
build.
Dennis.
Okay.
For me, looking at it, I'm very much interested in how the CNGN is going to be because I feel like with time we are going to see more information regarding it, how it's going to play out, and we'll have more to say about this CNGN because just like the way what's the name of this token that they have currently, the central bank
CBDC.
CBDCs, sorry.
Is it?
Just
I'm not anti INERA. I'm anti
yeah,
CBDC.
yeah,
CBDC.
I know, yeah,
I don't
like
see why CBDC. CBDC doesn't help anybody. What are you doing with CBDC? Those are control mechanisms for the
right,
society.
like
I don't want to sound like a control freak or something, but like a yeah, conspiracy theorist. But wow, you can't really kind of like tokenize a currency and then say the central bank should come. It somehow sounds dangerous to me.
mhm.
That is what it sounds to me. So
That's what I'm just
I
trying
don't
to
know.
trying to
Continue
see
what you're
about.
saying though.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to see with the CNGN because we don't want a case where you come and create stable coin that is almost the same thing like the CBDCs. You want to come and continue controlling us, and I guess when it comes out, we would all come out and tell them this is how we want it to work. Well, that's one thing I
Well, look at what I think. Look at what I think. CNGN is a nice idea, but
yes,
it has to be offered on the bank level.
mm-hmm.
If it's offered on the central bank level, then there's a problem.
There's a
The
problem.
bank has to issue,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Yeah, I
and
don't
it
know.
has to be issued on a public blockchain. That's the only way it makes a lot of sense. You can't issue it on the private blockchain and think it's something that we all have to like run with,
Um,
right? So, well, away from that though, another issue that happened this year was, I think these are big issues that we're looking at. The Patricia issue, like, is a big story. Why I say it's a big story is because Patricia is kind of like a household name in crypto in Nigeria,
Yes.
and it got hacked or they hacked it themselves. We don't really know what happened. There's not been an update. We're struggling to pay back on this file. So these are the things that happened. I don't know what to say about Patricia. Like, maybe we recorded an episode about it. So if you really want to grab more information, just listen to that episode, because it's a sad story to say people are losing money, and it doesn't make sense that people to lose money. Isaac, I don't know whether you have like one or two things to say about Patricia
Like
conversation.
it's the end of the year, and the last thing we heard about Patricia was they wanted to give out shares, and then it's just been
No, it wasn't even that. I'm not hearing that
what they said.
uh somebody was arrested. A politician wanted to use the platform to move back money, and then he was arrested, and so like the story. And then there is this DLM Capital or something that came up. The story with Patricia is not straight. Like, I just believe the government should actually look into Patricia
They
to
need
know what is actually really happening. They need to like look into Patricia massively and know, like, okay, what are these guys doing and how are they doing what they're doing and stuff like that.
how are they trying to solve issues? How are they going to provide people this
It's
money?
not even about how they're trying to solve issues. Somebody should go to prison. Somebody should be locked up. Yeah, somebody
Probably,
should be locking up somebody.
probably,
What are you telling me?
probably put him on
There should
suicide,
be
just like
consequences.
just like this guy has well too, just like SBF.
Yeah, somebody somebody has to somebody has to be paying for something, because these things can't continue, right? So I think another issue that happened, probably affecting Nigeria very well, is around the Binance something. You know, not even the Binance. Let's not go there. The dollar rate issue. We've seen the dollar grow from like crazy to
It's been
like
very
it's
wild.
been like crazy.
It's been very wild this year.
So like, I
Yeah.
don't know. Uh, dollar is higher than the naira went up down more than the Bitcoin. It's the best performing asset for the year.
Oh my God.
So I don't know.
Okay, should I even say this on the podcast? Well, I guess I should. Even my dad was, let it not be like we are unpatriotic citizens. Anyway, it's so just like
We are not actually.
yeah, well, we are not. And then there's one thing that we observe in Africa exactly has been people wanting to preserve their savings and all of that. And then my dad is an example. Um,
Listen, listen. Let me tell you something. There is nothing like, it's not an African thing. Humans have always been sorting to preserve their wealth
true.
from time immemorial.
For
It's
sure, for
not
sure.
like, it's not African. It's not like,
At
it's not
all.
African entirely. So so I don't know what,
So yeah, I should not.
if you have the opportunity, listen, if you have the opportunity to save in dollars, save in dollars.
Yeah, of course.
If you have the opportunity to save in pounds, CDs, anything you want to save in, it's a free market. Save what you want to save in the currency you want to save in. You don't
Yeah,
owe anybody any apology. Even the government still have foreign reserves. So as a
true.
citizen, I believe you should have foreign reserves as well.
True.
So, so
So
what's the big Jeffrey? I don't know if that makes sense, right? So like,
I feel like I agree with you,
but
Sha. You should definitely always have like foreign reserves as a citizen. Like you should always have something to back
of
to fall
course,
down on. 100%.
hmm
so that
yeah.
because
So
I was saying sorry, before before Dennis corrected me. So like even my dad this year, like we're talking about the exchange rate and all of that, and this at the beginning of this year he saved a little bit, he saved some certain amount of money in USD and stable coins, and then he realized that at the end of the year the amount of money he has saved is because of the rates and all of that. It's now kind of more, and he's able to do certain things. And it's been kind of a blessing and a curse because things have gotten a little bit cost of as well in the country, but then it's still been a little bit of it has also been a little bit of a blessing as well. If you get what I mean.
Yeah, definitely.
You get what I
Definitely.
mean. So
yeah, see, like, we are living in the most, I don't know how to say it. Like, these are the most interesting times ever in the history of human race. Yeah,
Historically, bro.
you have access historically. You have access to so many things, right? So that normally you don't have access to. Before 2008 or 2007, if you want to have access to the dollar, you must go to the bank. Now, just download Comic Block app and then do your KYC.
I do
Boom,
right.
you have access to dollars, right?
Mm.
So if you want to create accounts, plug UP APIs, and then boom, you create massive stablecoin accounts and then fund it. So I still believe in a free market. I believe why I believe regulation. I believe sensible regulation, and I appreciate the effort of the CBN. Right, it's kind of interesting. So this podcast is going to be long, right? Because just stretch it once and for all. I don't know. Like one of the things I wanted to talk about is adoption. Like the analysis story, $117 billion in transaction volume for crypto in Africa, stablecoin 50 billion. Jeffrey,
Say stablecoin
where do you
50
see us next
billion.
year? Yeah, where do you see
That's
us next
crazy.
year? Where do you see
I
us
feel
next year?
like
Like,
like Africa.
be realist. Don't be a degen. This conversation. Be a realist. Conversation.
As a realist, I feel like definitely the adoption is only going to get higher, bro. Like it's only going to get higher. I was having a conversation with my brother that my brother and my cousins was this week about Nigeria is actually one of like the most populated countries in the world. I can't remember the number exactly, but I know we're on the top 10. I think we're like number 7, number 8. So the Nigerian market, the African market is very big for whatever product, for whatever technology, for whatever trend. Like there's so
Yeah,
many people and everybody is all connected. So you won't be surprised if like and that's why a lot of times when sometimes the CBN brings like numbers about how much the nation spends on stuff like airtime, on data, on transport, like they are so like numbers are so huge that sometimes you think like they are made up that sort of thing. But like it's just like a really big market. And I'm really sure that 2024, 2025, we're definitely going to see a rise in crypto um crypto based startups or fintech. So I think you said something about banks now have the ability to create a stable coin. So I'm 100% sure banks are going to be they're going to dive deep into that. I have zero. I'm sure like in probably mid of next year, a few banks will probably have their own custom tokens and they'll just match up like a reward system to it or something. But I feel like this is like the adoption era and like we're literally at the gate, so anything can just come out.
Yeah. Um.
although I
Some
have to say,
numbers, right?
uh, okay, get it going.
Listen. Hold on, Isaac. Some numbers in like in the first 3 months of 2023, compared like Nigeria moved. How am I going to say this? Nigeria transferred 9.1 trillion naira in the first 3 months, like
Hmm,
total bank
Bro,
transfers. First quarter of this year, 9.1 trillion naira.
that's crazy.
Last
that's
year,
crazy.
that
Yeah,
amount was last year that amount was 3.5 trillion. 2022, that amount was 3.5 trillion.
Wow.
yeah,
So that's almost 500 and like that's more than one. That's more than 100% growth.
bro.
That's more
Cause
than
like
100%.
more people are
So
getting phones, more people are getting internet, more people are needing money, more people like need a
yeah,
solution. So like
like
they will use this, bro.
current
Like
current
just make it
transfer
work.
volume, like by 2022, right?
Okay,
Transaction volume, total transaction volume in Nigeria was $51 billion.
Wow.
Sorry,
bro.
total payment volume, 51
Payment. Okay,
billion,
Hmm.
not 51 billion,
Wow.
51 billion times. People transferred money
Oh,
across board 51 billion times.
one more.
1 billion times.
That's a lot. That's a
So
lot.
That's a lot. That's a lot of times.
that's a lot of times, bro. Like it shows you, like Nigeria is alive and well. I was saying this to somebody yesterday. The Nigerian economy behaves like it's metacultural,
Mm-hmm.
Bro. Yeah,
right?
yeah,
The Nigerian economy is metacultural. The things that we think drive this economy. Like people will come out and say, "Oh, inflation number is 100% in the US." blah 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 blah. And then we operate in our we have our own
On our
like
spectrum.
Yeah, that bro, and like
yeah.
that's the truth. Like the numbers, it doesn't show in the numbers, guy. It doesn't show in the numbers. It doesn't show in the numbers. Like everybody's just okay. It's crazy.
Yeah. Like we have our own economy, we have our own metadata. Like we are on our level separately. So saying this right and looking at crypto in Nigeria for next year, I don't have any prediction, but I'll wait for Chainalysis to release the number. Yeah.
Because
But
in Nigeria, oh my God, it doesn't. I think we need to
if
be
there is one,
studied specially. We need to be studied specially and put out a different
of
study
course,
concerning Nigeria.
if there is one thing I know for next year is that there is going to be adoption on the policy layer. We're going to see like institutional like adoption more than people say, stablecoin, people are using stablecoin. Nigerian businesses use stablecoin more than people are mentioning phone bank companies that are building crypto companies. These are not the individuals using stablecoin. They are all the problem with Nigeria Africa crypto data is that they don't have any story behind it. Right? So what we're seeing now is core adoption organically, and that is going to continue
Yeah.
growing, right? That is one thing I see for next year. Isaac,
Yeah.
away from the adoption conversation, like what are you seeing next year
Okay.
for crypto
What
in
am I
Nigeria?
saying?
In
So,
Nigeria
yes,
specifically, forget about Africa.
okay. In Nigeria, what I'm seeing for crypto is my one thing I've always said throughout the year has always been that infrastructure is going to play a very big part for us in Africa, in Nigeria, sorry, in Nigeria, because there are not so many people to be able to build what they need to build. And next year, with this new information from CBN, we are going to begin to see more persons trying their hands on crypto, more persons trying to create what needs to be done to provide more solutions that they believe that are not there yet for crypto. Those that are very ambitious to come up with very more ambitious solutions to anything regard that crypto can solve for in Africa, in Nigeria as well. It's ranging from agriculture, schooling, even in the government sector itself, even in the government sector. So it applies in so many different areas, and I look forward to seeing what those things are because I know I'm also looking forward to discussing about them on the podcast because it's going to be very well.
But
It's going to be very well.
yeah, I think for me, one statement is policy. I've said that before. Policy, policy, policy. There's going to be a lot of policy conversation next year. Let's see how that happens. And we're really going to start seeing the winners and the losers in this ecosystem carve out very soon when it comes to financial services generally. Fintechs are going to know that crypto is their competition and that is going to push them to innovate. That is one thing I see next year happening. Right? So, if you're listening in, like, you might wonder, why are we saying this? We're saying this because basically we are embedded within the core of crypto in Africa, not even Nigeria. Because of what we're building and the way we're building it, right? Because I think that's going to bring us to like the UK conversation because we have for a long time we haven't talked about the UK conversation on this podcast. Kind of like, oh, let's talk about it, stuff like that. But UK basically, I'm the CEO of UK and I'm the founder as well. We have a very large team, and here Isaac is the operations uh, analyst and also a software tester at Yuki. And then Jeffrey is the lead blockchain guy currently. He's we all play key roles. I do product operations. Isaac does product operations. Like literally everybody in the company wears like multiple hats to get things done. And started building Yuki out of a necessity from our experience building our former products. And one of the things that we want to maybe we are seeing in the space is that there is no infrastructure to support builders. There's no infrastructure to support that your favorite use case, right? And basically that's what I've been at UK. You want to be able to like build a turnkey solution that you can be able to go sleep and wake up and then build what you want to build on crypto. Jeffrey, like how's your UK Go like conversation being, like history being like from January this year to now? Tell us a little bit what you are doing at UK and why are you building it? And what are you going to build next year specifically? So yeah, over to you, man. Yeah.
Um,
Jeffrey, are you here?
Jeffrey's not here, so maybe I would go before
Okay.
Jeffrey
Isaac,
when Jeffrey comes back.
first.
Yeah. So for me, it's been interesting for you. And we started this conversation from last year. We started this conversation from last year, and we look at it, and we all had this, we all had our what's the word, reservations regarding it, and we spoke about it. We kept talking about it, and we kept talking about it, and then beginning of the year, we saw it, and we were like, let's go for it. And it's been interesting. We've had very interesting conversations. We've spoken to different sets of people, talked to different communities, try to understand people's takes, try to understand people's use cases of how they use crypto, especially in Africa, in Africa as a whole, because we did not limit ourselves to just Nigeria. And we, over that time, we've gotten to know so many different use cases, gotten to know so many different companies that want to make use of crypto, understood their use cases, participated in different camps, made good connections, good relationships, and it's been a very wild, very, very wild run. We started, for me, I, the things I have been able to do this year still surprises me sometimes. Sometimes there were times when I felt like I wasn't doing enough, but when you look back and count the things you've done, you realize that, man, you've done a lot. You've done a lot. And it's been amazing. And we started seeing people beginning to implement it, and then and I'm looking forward to more people implementing it because that's my goal for next year. My goal for next year is to sit down
Sure.
and when I'm on Twitter, while you're scrolling and you see those usual when you see those targeted ads where you see people talking about that, and when you look at it and you smile and be like, these guys are making use of me. We said in our podcast before that we want people to get to a stage where people build something and they don't need to mention the because they're using crypto to build this thing. So so what I'm trying to say is they built a solution. They're already doing an advert about it, and people are making use of the solution. And it doesn't need to be expressly said that they are making use of crypto to build it. But then, what I'm getting at is that then we are the ones enabling it. We've made it so easy that people are able to come in and build whatever use cases they're trying to build with you. That's my goal for next year.
Yeah, man. Uh, I think Jeffrey, I'll give it to you. Just a quick one. Then I'll tie it up because it's been a very crazy year generally.
Yeah.
It's been a year, right? It's really, really been a year, I would say. Like what is your takeaways from this year? Like building your key and like I know the takeaways are many, just mentioned few.
I'll
Over to you,
try.
like please keep it short.
um
I know there are many.
okay, yeah, bruh. It's like I remember the time, Dennis, I don't know if you remember, I was like we're literally living like the hardcore startup experience, like that kind of content they use to make series. Those startup, like that's exactly what we're in. Like we've been in so much situations that like we just had to go hardcore, like go hard or go home. That sort of thing. Like we've had so many hurdles as a company this year. I remember when we started we started UK as like a solution to our own product in the days of like Comi Block. We started UK as like a solution to our product. Then we found out that the problem was not just with us, it was like a continental problem, that sort of thing. So we made some product changes. We decided to help facilitate that change, and I feel like the community has just been really good to us. We built an amazing product with an amazing team, and the community has helped push us. I feel like we could definitely not have gotten as far as this without the help of others, and we're super grateful for that. And I'm super grateful that this is a product that is driving real impact, like that is driving real change. Literally every CEO that we talk about that wants to join or that wants to use Yuki to fill their platform is there are people that that they can help change and help financial problems in the continent, and I'm just happy we can be part of that change. And yeah, I'm happy for the team we have. The team at UK is very supportive. I feel like we're all like family, right? Like we're all in each other's business, and I love that. Yeah, I'm super excited for next year. Next year is definitely going to be a year of growth. I feel like we all as a team, we definitely had a lot of growth this year. I definitely also had a lot of growth this year. Um, yeah, I'm looking forward to next year, and yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait for the time we record this podcast next year, and we're looking back,
Yes, exactly.
Mhm.
I can't wait for us recording this again next year.
bruh.
Yeah, man. Like, it's just being what it is, right? It's been it's been an incredible year, right? So UK started something as a mobile app. Then from a mobile app, it ended up becoming an API as a service platform for companies to build products, like a platform. I had this sinkhole. Was this sinkhole? I had this theory that let me get out the theory that we talked about. Let me bring it up. Give me a minute. So let me bring it up and then talk about what I'm talking about. So even like maybe a little sense. Yeah, it's called the protocol sync thesis. One of the things I wrote this in back in June. I was talking about the protocol, like in the rapidly evolving landscape of Web3, the protocol synthesis has emerged as a guiding principle for Web3 innovation solutions as we embark on the journey to build a centralized Web3 infrastructure platform for Africa companies. We recognize the profound implication of this. The protocol synthesis offers a model for how systems will manifest at maturity. This states that the more trustless, permissionless, credible, neutral a protocol is, the further it can scale itself to a global platform. As a consequence, it absorbs much amount of capital. Protocols that offer a platform to build more becomes more dense and fall to the bottom of the protocol sync from a collective weight of the people and companies building on them. So this is something coming from David Hoffman what's it called, of Bankers. And how this applies to us is right, we are building an infrastructure that doesn't exist yet in Africa. Like there's
Yeah.
this abstraction layer that we're bringing into the blockchain to abstract so many complexities of so many conversations that have to do with crypto. We want to make it easy, whether you're a blockchain guy or not, a two guy, you can just make an API call and start building so many things, cross chain protocols and so many things, account abstraction, anything at all. So I think it's it's been an interesting journey, and I can see thank you to my team, my family, and uh, I don't know, man, like my girlfriend as well. I'll say thank you to everybody, my co-founder, like everybody generally. This journey wouldn't have been possible without you guys, and we are here today because of all of you, and a very special thank you to the teams that we've worked with: Shiga, SFX, Bing Teller, Bitcarter, Hurupe, Aladdin, so many teams. We've talked to over 50 companies this year, and we are glad to have like over 20 or 15 companies in the pipeline. So many people have signed in contracts. It's been a very interesting journey for us, right? And I just believe what we're building is enabling innovation, is making people's dream come true. We're not building for anything but specifically to empower other people achieve what they want to achieve in their life. We are kind of it's a self-minded journey, and one of the biggest things we are looking at next year is to be able to support as much founders as we can, as much developers as we can to actualize their dreams. to build what they want to build for Africa. Like we want to reduce that barrier to entry. Like we want you to be able to build that your dream company, that your dream product. That is all we care about. That is why we're building UK the way we're building it. And by this time next year, when we're talking about this, I want to believe that we've empowered more than 100 entrepreneurs to build their dreams. That is my goal for next year. It's not just about the revenue or anything, but that is my goal, empowering people to do more, right? So, and a big shout out to the Sailor community as well. A huge part of our success, I can attribute it to them in terms of growth, funding, and stuff like that. Expert Dojo as well. I won't have the team I have today if not for Brian, Isabella, Kaisa, Osai, so many people, right? Techstars Web3, those rejections was helpful to bring us to where we are right now. Yeah, of course, it was.
Of
So
course.
Sean Lee, folks, right?
Oh,
Steven Green,
Actually, yes.
Odyssey, Defense. I just want to say thank you to everybody, right? If you've ever helped me, maybe giving me a ride this year in your car or in your bus, thank you. Because it's all been like a very incredible journey. And I want to take this opportunity to say a special thank you to Jeffrey, Isaac, and Olumide. I'm
yeah,
mentioning this name specifically because you guys have been my backbone for the year. And I'm looking forward to a very interesting next year with all of you. So,
Definitely.
same here, same here,
and to all our listeners,
same here.
right, on the podcast, you guys are amazing. Really, really amazing. So, I can't thank you all enough. And next year is supporting dreams and helping people actualize their goals. That is our ambition for next year at UK, right? So, man, I don't know what else to say, but I think this is a wrapper episode. So just indulge us. Maybe the next few minutes we're just going to talk about some other few things around I don't know specifically, but the Binance issue, we're gonna close with that. What do you think going forward? Isaac, don't laugh. What do you think going forward, guys? The Binance issue. I don't know why that guy likes laughing at
I
you.
think I think Isaac
So
should I think
the
I should
Binance
take
issue,
the
like
floor first. I think he has
So,
something to
since he's been
say.
laughing at CZ, Isaac, oh yeah.
So the whole season issue has been it has very different there's something we said after what happened with FTX. We said that people will come for CZ as well and they will take him out and they will take him out. And one thing one thing I like about the whole thing is I like how it was all played out because if it went as bad as what happened with FTX, we wouldn't be where we are in the market right now because everybody predicted that what was going to happen with Binance. BNB BNB might have crashed or something might have happened because I think it was also this year they discontinued BUSD as well. That was when they stopped offering BUSD, and I think by next year it's no longer going to be in use because after all this things, they made sure that this did not affect the crypto market entirely, like massively, like what happened with FTX, because a lot of persons would have lost their money. We know how people lost money with FTX. If the same thing happened with Binance, it would have been catastrophic. It would have been catastrophic. So they played their cards well and ensured that these people got these people were did not lose their money. These people did not lose their money. People, so because some persons have put their life savings on Binance, and if their life savings is on Binance, if their life savings is on Binance, if anything happened to Binance, oh my god, people would have committed suicide. That terminal bridge, so we would have seen people jumping it. I'm glad that it was handled carefully and the users were protected. That's just all I want to say. And I feel like there's something I saw last week or was it last 2 weeks on Binance when I selected a certain asset and Binance put out they made sure you read this thing first before you go ahead with it. So Binance is trying to make sure they put things in place to prevent anything that this is not me endorsing Binance. This is not me endorsing Binance. I'm just saying the things that I've seen. It's something that a lot of other companies probably need to do. Prevent issues of users losing their assets in case issues like regulation comes for them. If because probably you did not put things in place to protect users' assets. Thank you.
Jeffrey, over to you.
Yeah, I think like Isaac said, I'm very glad that I remember there was a period when we were talking about, I think it was last year or during this year, we were having conversations about like the kind of impact that Binance has in the community and how if any crash that happened to them could directly affect the end user, it could be catastrophic for the community and for people, because a lot of people have their businesses on Binance, people's life savings are on Binance, people's so many things. A lot of people use Binance for so many reasons, and I'm very happy that the community, that the end user is not affected directly. I saw like an article about Binance removing a few trading
Yeah.
pairs by I think December
So
29.
well, listen, I think the Binance conversation, right? It happened the way it was meant to happen. There is no other way, right? So they did the right thing by protecting users, as Jeffrey said, right? And it's as a business, Patricia CEO should learn. You should have
Yes.
a
Yeah.
risk structure mechanism. If you are running like a crypto company, you should be able to anticipate issues like this. AML is a big conversation. It's one of the things we are working with analysis for by next year. And the how they can verify the data they are providing on AML. That is a conversation for another day. I know we've talked about that we're going to talk about this maybe by next year. Probably one of the things we're going to talk about as well. But AML is important. There has to be like unification of data in crypto, right? So the Binance issue was I don't know how else anybody wanted it to go. This is how it's supposed to go. But the question remains is why is it that whenever it comes to crypto, the standard changes, right? It becomes that it has to be done in a perfect way. Isaac, I don't know if that makes sense to you.
It makes sense. Makes sense.
Yeah. So that is the question I have for folks, right? So until we have that question answered, crypto is still going to be suffering that victim mentality because we are all victims, and Binance is a victim of personal attack, the way I would call it. It kind of like a revenge mode kind of something. These people were out to just get this guy, right? So let's see what happens, how it all evolves, and we all keep building. That's all I can say. I want
That's
to say
it.
special shout out to everybody, to Jeffrey, your family, Isaac, everybody, to my co-founder, everybody, my girlfriend, everybody at all. Like it's all been interesting working with all of you and listeners and everybody. It's a good night from us. It's a compliment of the season. It's a Merry Christmas. It's a Happy New Year. It's Happy Chinese New Year. Everything good to wish you. Right. Stay safe. See you all
Merry Christmas, everyone.
2024. Yeah.
Merry Christmas,
So
everybody.
yeah. Thanks, guys, and have a nice one, everybody.
Yeah. Bye, guys. See you guys next year.
Yeah.